wonderful. Everyone take out your closed notes from yesterday.
If you want. Yeah.
Closed notes from yesterday. Closed notes from yesterday. So, alright, let's talk about the first answer. The first answer is Mary. Why? Because there's a separation of the executive and legislative branch. And indeed, we learned that, second one, we learned that Kenyan boys are favoring more to go to school, and girls have to do more things, like becoming wives and stuff. So here's our mini lesson video. Our mini lesson video will immediately take our notes again. So give me thumbs up when you're all ready. Chelsea, you have any notes? Alright, Chelsea, you can run the computer and you can pause it, unpause it when your tools are ready.
Abraham, stop singing Charlie again.
Oh, first before, Dipsica.
I think I'm I lost my book.
I can say
I lost the
excuse me. Dipsica's reading the I can say so we know what we're doing. Alright. Go ahead, you can start the video now. You can pause it when you're ready too.
¿Qué es eso?
We will continue talking about HIV/AIDS, focusing on those issues in Africa and how that government instability impacts access to education and the distribution of medication and food to combat diseases and famine across Africa. So today we're going to start by talking about disease. Again, you should be following along on your closed notes like we did yesterday, and you will continue to learn the bank on these notes during today's mini lesson. So the governments of many African nations have failed to focus on building proper healthcare systems for their citizens. As a result, there are too few hospitals, not enough doctors, and insufficient supplies to treat outbreaks of major diseases. So here's an example of that. Think about how our hospitals, or most of our hospitals look in America, and this could possibly be a hospital in a country in Africa, right? So there's not necessarily separate rooms. You know, the patients are all in one room. They might not have the technology or the types of devices that we have in America to use to treat certain diseases. In many instances, African governments have not been effective in distributing medicine in emergencies. Outbreaks of diseases can turn into deadly epidemics when African governments do not act quickly. Some epidemics that have occurred in Africa include malaria, Ebola, and AIDS. Those are just some examples.
AIDS.
They're right. They're right. So you right? Yeah. Abraham, you taking notes or not? Alright, so put whatever you're doing.
Alright, my bad. I'll just put my head down.
Okay, come on. You always want to bargain and get more, but you got to do what.
I know. I'm gonna wait today. I just don't. Where do I go to put the notes?
What? No, I don't want you to waste my time. Again, if you want to spend time to do after school detention or something.
I said, where do I put the notes in? What page?
It's a piece of paper, pal.
Oh.
Close enough. I don't know what you did with it, but it's all fill in the blank at this point.
Wait. Oh, that piece of paper?
Yeah. Alright, Olivia, I have another copy. Abraham, I have another copy. All you have to do is ask.
Mi, por favor, me puedes dar un papel.
Please what?
He said,
Yes, that's better. Yes, it's better here.
Abraham, stop singing to others get beat.
You can have it. If you need it.
Okay, let's do that again.
And stay woke.
Bring me tomorrow.
Here's just a picture to show how, if diseases go untreated, this can be the result, right? A lot of deaths. So today, 34 million people worldwide are living with HIV and AIDS. So this is a disease that is world spread. But about 2/3 of those people who are living with HIV and AIDS are in the
yeah, I want y'all to understand too though, we have a very bad outlook when it comes to our academics at times, especially the Georgia curriculum. I'll use that I'll take it all out. Because we project a lot. Like AIDS, there is a Metro Atlanta is a high HIV center, okay? There are a lot of people in our city who are experiencing a lot of social issues, including STDs, all right? Also, this is one of the hubs of sex trafficking, kidnapping, right? There's a lot of stuff that's happening in our city, and it's easy to say all that stuff happens in, I don't know, Southwest Asia, in Africa, in Southeast Asia. It is easy to say that, but it does happen here, and you all need to understand that we don't need to project, we need to just protect ourselves. That's it, because if you know what this is, then you know how to look at it and how this occurs. And a lot of times, people think it's just on the other side of the world, and they don't realize it's in their own city, in their own backyard, okay? So, I remember one time, and I'll just leave it at this. The first time I realized that some of the best news is hidden in the local newspapers, it opened up my eyes about what happens in stuff like Lilburn and Stone Mountain and Snellville and Stockbridge. That doesn't make the news, okay? So nothing is perfect anywhere. But y'all need to understand that HIV/AIDS is an issue in Atlanta and in Metro Atlanta. Not just Africa. Not just Africa. All right, go ahead. Yeah, when I was a kid, they used to have this AIDS blanket that they would take from city to city.
What? You saw the comments are going?
No, what's that?
It said my balls hurt. Yeah.
Okay.
In many instances, African governments have not been effective in distributing. About 24 million people across the continent have AIDS and 1.5 million have died, and these deaths have created over 11 million orphans. So orphans are children without parents.
I just can't eat it though. What did I tell you, Abraham?
So here's just a map to show the prevalence of HIV and AIDS in Africa. So it looks like the darker the color, the higher the number. So according to this map, majority of HIV and AIDS cases are in South Africa. Or Southern Africa. And so here's an example of some of the orphans that are orphans as a result of AIDS. The situation has gotten even worse as a result of poverty and weak educational and public health services. The epidemic now places a huge burden on the healthcare systems, on countries that barely have enough resources to handle basic care. Few African countries have the resources to treat AIDS patients.
Where's the answers at, bro? I'll see them. I'm gonna have to copy out some more. Not even gonna lie to you, Mr. Donald.
All right.
I cannot. Can I do that?
The garage right next to it, ask the garage, ask her if you can look.
Like after, that's like after.
No, I mean, why wait till after? That's what I'm point I'm making to you about wasting time.
So again, this is just showing you the point of the, there's a lot of orphans have been created as a result of AIDS. Zimbabwe has one of the highest rates of HIV and AIDS in the world. This country has a government, also has government corruption, civil unrest, and a suspicion of outside help, which has made the situation worse.
Oh, Zimbabwe has one of the highest rates. Oh. Now I see it, Mr. Doran.
That's where we at. We're gonna stop at Botswana, so this is the last one.
Don't play right now, bro. I swear, Chelsea, if you play, I swear. Do it and watch,
Right,
bro.
he act like that.
First,
Do it and
Zimbabwe also has a very poor economy, meaning that the expensive medicines are impossible for most people to afford. So again, medicine can be very expensive. That's something that we struggle with here in America, is making sure that healthcare is affordable. And so of course, the worse your economy, the poorer your economy, the harder that is. They come with certain medicines that people can't afford to treat these illnesses.
No, bro, I wasn't ready.
This is a sign in Zambia, just encouraging their citizens to know their HIV status. In Botswana, they have maintained a stable democratic.
Alright, tomorrow I'm gonna pick up with Botswana.
But,